Hello everyone, welcome to the video tutorial of biology for sex-linked inheritance. What is sex-linked inheritance? It is the inheritance of a trait that is determined by a gene located on one of the sex chromosomes. We have talked earlier also in my videos that there are 22 pairs of autosomes and the 23rd pair is the sex chromosome. These are X and Y. If it is in homozygous condition, it is XX and XY. This is a female and this is a male. So the inheritance of those traits which are determined by the gene which are located in X and Y chromosomes is called as sex-linked inheritance. So it is very obvious that the main function of X and Y chromosomes is to determine the sex of an individual. But in addition, the sex determining genes, there are also certain genes which are present which control the traits like color blindness. Haemophilia. These are two diseases. So with the help of these two diseases, I will be explaining you the sex-linked inheritance. Let us first study color blindness. You might have heard the term before, color blindness. Color blindness can be two types. It can be absolute, in which the individual does not identify any color. Whatever image is formed is in black and white. But there are people who are unable to differentiate between red and green color. This color blindness is a sex-linked disease. A person cannot differentiate between red and green color. The allele for this form of color blindness is carried on the X chromosome. So most of the traits are X-linked. So this color blindness gene is actually present in X chromosome. We call it as an X-linked gene, and this trait is present in this particular chromosome. Usually the Y-linked gene does not produce any defect because it makes an individual sterile. So when the person has become sterile, inheritance cannot take place because no reproduction, and therefore inheritance wouldn't be there, and therefore Y-linked inheritance is very rare and it is only seen in males because Y chromosome is only found in males. So basically what we are studying over here is the color blindness, which is the gene for which is found in X chromosome. So we are calling it as X-linked gene, which is a recessive inheritance. Now what do you mean by recessive inheritance? If it is present in homozygous condition, suppose the gene for color blindness, I'll mention it as C, is present in a female in one of the X chromosomes. We know that a female is homozygous, both of them are X. The color blindness gene is present in one of the X. The effect is masked by the other normal gene, and therefore she may not be a sufferer of color blindness. While in male there is only one X chromosome, and if the individual is having this color blindness gene in the X chromosome, he will suffer from the disease because there is no alternative gene to mask the effect, because the other chromosome is Y, but over here one is normal and the other one is defective. So usually it is in homozygous condition that the female is only called as a carrier. If it was in both the chromosomes, then only a female would be called as a colorblind female. So the possibility for a female to be colorblind is less than a male. Color blindness can be easily tested using a simple pattern of color dots shown in this diagram. A person with normal color vision can read the number embedded in each dot pattern. If this is visible, that means you are not colorblind. Here's another one. A person with red-green color blindness cannot distinguish the number which is seen inside. In this one it is 45 and in the previous one it was 74. Color blindness was first of all studied by Horner in 1876. Let us study color blindness inheritance by two examples. I am taking the first example over here. Let me take a normal mother. A normal mother means she has two X chromosomes with no gene of color blindness in any, and a color blind father on one side. This is the Punnett square in which we are trying to have a cross between a normal female and a color blind father. So what will be the combination? This X and this X will give rise to a carrier female. Since one X chromosome is normal, this will affect the mask the effect of the color blindness gene in this defective chromosome. Here also a carrier female, a normal male and a normal male. So in this way we get the ratio 2:2, which we can even write as 1:1. So in this way what we see is that in this case the normal female and a colorblind father gives rise to two carrier and two normal male. None of them will be actually colorblind. They lead a normal healthy life. Let us take another example. We will take a carrier mother. That means one X carrying the gene for color blindness and another X is normal. So this is a carrier mother and a normal father. So let us make the cross. We get one child who is carrier daughter, a normal daughter, a color blind son and a normal son. In all the four are different, so we get the ratio 1:1:1:1:1. A carrier female, a normal daughter, a color blind son and a normal son. Let us see another X-linked recessive trait, hemophilia. This is also known as Bleedres disease. It is another popular example of sex-linked inheritance in human beings. It is caused by a mutant gene small h, which is present in X chromosomes and is recessive to the normal gene and is therefore suppressed in heterozygous condition. People who are suffering from this disease do not have the capacity of clotting of blood. In addition to injuries, persons suffering from hemophilia suffer from internal bleeding as a result of normal activity. So it is called as Bleedres disease. In some of the books it is also mentioned as Royal's disease because it has been found in 7 generations in men of Queen Victoria's family, and so we also call it as Royal's disease. The allele of this disease is carried on X chromosome. Females have a pair of alleles XX, but males do not have a pair of the same. So this is heterogametic and this is a homogametic condition. If a male inherits the hemophilia allele, he is hemophilic, but a female, if she inherits, she will be called as carrier because the normal X chromosome will mask the effect. It is very similar to what we studied the cases in color blindness. So let us see one example in this hemophilia disease. Now let us understand hemophilia by these two examples. I have taken two Punnett square over here in which there is a normal mother and a hemophilic father. Let us find the offsprings. This is a carrier daughter, another carrier daughter, a normal male, another normal male. So this is the condition in which the father, which is hemophilic, is married to a normal mother. Let us see another example. Here the mother is colorblind because in both the eggs the hemophilic gene is present, but the father is normal. So we get a carrier daughter, another carrier daughter, a colorblind male, and another colorblind male. Let us find out the cross of both. Here it is 2:2 and here again it is 2:2. So what we see is that this is the Punnett square which gives the progeny in the ratio 2:2 over here and also 2:2 over here. Let us study now the criss-cross inheritance. What is it? The transmission of a character from father to the grandson through his daughter. This is called as criss-cross inheritance. Let me explain you this with the help of a figure. This is the figure showing a mother and a father. So what we see is that a colorblind father now sends his gene to the carrier daughter, and from this carrier daughter the gene is again received by a son. Now this gene is received by the son, so he becomes a colorblind grandson. So from the male, when it is received to the grandson, it is called as criss-cross inheritance. Again from the son, if it is received by a female, she is in the F2 generation, she would be a carrier. But then if the same gene is received by the son, he would be colorblind. So you can see this pattern. This is known as criss-cross inheritance. Now let us study the Y-linked inheritance. What is this Y-linked inheritance? The inheritance which is caused by the genes present in the Y chromosome. These genes are called as Holandric genes. The Y chromosome linked traits occur only in males and not in females. The most common characters linked with it is the presence of hair on ear lobes, which we call as Hypertrichosis, and loss of hair from the head, that is baldness. So these characteristics are seen only in males because the genes are present only in Y chromosomes. They would be never seen in females. Thank you.